All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. It is the Infinix, MTN, and PUBG Mobile National Team Championship here. Winner walks away with 1,200 USD, and the runner-ups will be walking away with prizes of their own up to 500 USD. And I think some power banks and a couple of other utilities will be going on as well. So get your predictions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. It is showtime. It is party time. It is PUBG Mobile action time. And let us know who are you repping? Scene right now, because you can see the guys from LSK 69 trying to trade off, and the first knock to come through. 5.56 is in the air. First bodies dropping like you just don't care. And that is what we absolutely love to see, ladies and gentlemen. The action is live. Let's get those predictions rolling in the chat. Class Clowns have been eliminated first, and another team just followed them as well. LSK 69 on fire here in Severny, the northern side, and they've got themselves 4 eliminations already. Too sweet, quicker than you would have ever thought. But the body's already starting to drop. You can see Coach looking very good here. He's got 1 elimination on the board for his team, and he's looking very, very enticed. So let's get in the chat. Who do you think is taking this game? Who do you think it is going to take match number 1? Remember, we've got 4 matches up for you. 4 matches ready to go. Action ready to go as well. We just love to see it. So let us know. Let us know your expectations, chat. Severny, where do you like to drop? Let's get in the comment section. Where do you like to drop? Do you like to be in Severny? Do you like to be in Pachinki? Do you like to be in Military Base, Milta, Salva, Shelter, Kameshki, you name it? Where do you like to be? Savage Vanguard take off. They will come out on top, getting the drop immediately as well. That is one you would not expect to see there, but Savage Vanguard looking very good. They're already up to 5 eliminations here, and they're trying to dap things up, trying to look very confident in the way they have been able to move on and move off, and it's a good drop. Butcher and LKS 53 are all looking to close the gap a little bit closer there. Something that we've seen nonetheless, but either way, very, very productive. Angles are looking very tight again. They're trying to close it out. CB13 also getting eliminated there, and they've been eliminated relatively very, very quickly. Bad start, very, very bad start to the game for them, unfortunately, but hopefully they will be able to redeem themselves in match number 2. Remember, the top 8 teams from this group will advance to the finals for tomorrow. So you want to be in the top 8. You want to perform as efficiently as possible to keep your team in that chance, to give you guys an opportunity to get one step closer to that amazing prize pool of 1,200 USD. And I believe you get 4 Infinix Hot 70. So big shout out to Infinix for putting this one out there. Infinix Hot 70. I mean, that's like the latest one, right? Yeah, chat. Infinix Hot 70, that's the newest Infinix Hot, right? Because I know that there was like Hot 60, but that was like last year. Or was that like 2 years ago? No, I think that was last year. But now you're going to trade off again. Oh, that's a nice shot from Tikahashi, but unfortunately he goes down. Adam goes down as well. And LSK 24 back to the lobby. They will go 16th place. Unfortunate scenes for them. But Z Killers, someone was repping Z Killers in the chat, right? Someone was repping Z Killers in the chat, and I would think that there is a little bit of a confirmation, right, to follow through for some of these teams. Again, I've seen something around those lines, but I want to see who's the best team in Zambia, though, chat. Someone tell me who the best team in Zambia is. So someone said it's Z Killers, and I'm starting to see that why that could be them, you know. But I'm already seeing the guys from Savage Vanguard, 5 eliminations to the good. Everybody's looking good for them. So we'll see if there's going to be a chance that they will be able to replicate a solid performance nonetheless. But I am looking forward to seeing if that's going to happen. But right now, LKS 53. Ooh, grenade is good. And a grenade is even better. They close out. I believe that was an AKM shot, immediately getting the drop on. And I guess 53 will be sent with their bags packing all the way to the lobby. Not what they were expecting, but Zed Killer still looking very good. Inferno is the only one in this team that has gotten about 3 eliminations, if I'm not mistaken. And now that is one for the books. But that is what we love to see, ladies and gentlemen, the action nonetheless. So we've got a bunch of teams still in the northern side, not inside of the zone though. And they have been adding a little bit of context to how they have been able to move around and put things into perspective. But, you know, there's a shopping list going on. So pack as much as you can because the zone is not going to be friendly once it decides to move away from these positions. But take a look at the map. You can see here a whole bunch of teams in that northern side. No team is actually in the center. Interestingly enough, there's no team in the center. Why is there no teams in the middle? I mean, we do have, you know, BB and a couple of other teams. They're trying to get a little bit closer to farm, but I think personally, I think that it should be done. You know, I think some teams should actually decide to start getting closer to the center, if I'm not mistaken, you know, but we'll see if that's going to be the case. Star Wars, on the other hand, another team with quite a good number of eliminations, 4 on the board for them as well. Sahil trying to keep things into perspective here for Star Wars. Do they have Jedis or do they have the Sith? We're about to see if they do have any Jedi warriors in that team. That's CB16 trying to hold it in. DBS into the first drop. He misses out, loses out again. 2 shots with the S12K from Papi as he packs them one by one and sends them back into the lobby with the quickness again. Couple more shots there, but Peter had no idea. He gets dropped away as well. Following suit, LSK99 lumbering in the position that they've got so far. Evil Iro. He's trying to get an angle there with a Fennec over to the other side. He's got an AKM in his right hand there. He's about to pack that one in, but can he make something happen? Can he drop through? Can he get the angles right? Can he work something along those lines? Happy is trying to be stacking up his utilities there as well, but he is looking very, very confident with the way he has positioned this one nonetheless. But, ooh, there is so much going on in the game right there. There's just so much going on, you know, that it's something that I would not expect to see at this stage, but it looks like a whole lot of teams have ideas. But we'll see if they're going to keep the exact same thing on, but they will try. They will absolutely try. Another team biting the dust. Ooh, play zone closes out, moves towards the western side. And we do have a team in Pochinki, though. Very, very blessed as team. Very blessed team, you know. Well, we'll see if there's going to be a little bit of a back and forth and repertoire. Now there is a constantly, very, very constantly a plays here, but I would love to see the best team in Zambia right now because I'm curious, you know, I'm really curious because I'm seeing a lot of solid players. I did not know Zambia was cooking like this though. I mean, so big shout out to Infinix for putting this together. They have been very, very impressive so far. We've got a team, Star Wars. Are they using the force? Because they're forcing like 10 elims here, 10 eliminations already. And we've still got about 44 players alive, 14 teams in the cut as well. It is a very, very interesting dynamic of what we've seen so far. But again, we're going to have to try to see if we can keep all of these teams there. Unfortunately, it looks like CB16 have some ideas on how they want to keep this on. Savage Vanguard, another team that's looking very good. 8 eliminations on the board for themselves so far. And they're closing the gap slowly but surely. Still got 14 teams though. 44 players all riding through, trying to keep it a buck here. But there's a lot of ground to cover, a lot to be done here. A lot of chances to facilitate. Now there is a little bit of a consistent drop in performance but it has been quite sufficient. We've still got a bunch of teams here, still yet to register any eliminations so far, but hopefully they will be able to find something as we are in phase 2 of the circle. It's going to be closing out anytime soon. Official running through Sly there, getting him dropped away there. AUG to confirm him as well, backing him, and they're holding it tight as well, closing out the gaps there. We've seen a lot of teams play this exact same way, trying to play in from that northern side of Yasnaya. It's going to be very tough because the play zone is not going to be favorable there. You can see Team 5 also putting in a shift onto the guys, I believe, from Savage Vanguard. They're taking a lot of hits as well. But then let's get into the 94. We got one elimination so far, and it is the player who got the elimination that has been sent back into the lobby. There is a little bit of a diamond in the rough type of performance, from some of these teams. Again, they've had ideas. Now they will try again. Trying to keep a whole lot of pressure off themselves there, Savage Vanguard, but they have been very proactive. They have been very solid, but they've got 2 players knocked away. Sally, the victim, he gets dropped as well. That's 3 players dropped from Savage Vanguard, a team that has been looking very interesting so far. They've got 9 eliminations though, but fortunately for them, all of their players are very close to each other, though I think they will be getting a pickup. They will be getting all of the resets on, but that was dangerously close. They're almost getting knocked away by the team just across the pond there. Would have been a very high risk maneuver if they did manage to pull it off, but now they need to reconvene with Official and Perimanga as well, because those 2 are still knocked away and they're still far away from their teammates. This is a very, very risky play though, very risky, as Sally is going to hop straight into his Dacia and I believe he's trying to reach his teammates that are still knocked away if he can pick them up, but it's going to be a very steep one. But he has to make it there, and he has to make it there quickly. LSK69 also trying to run through Gaddafi and his teammate, just trying to run across there to get a better position inside of that central half of the play zone as the zone starts to close out. While all this is going on, Star Wars continue to add the numbers. 12 eliminations. It is 1 for the books. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, PMNC is coming up the wildcard region. I'm looking forward to seeing a whole lot of these teams participate there, because especially Star Wars, LSK69, Z Killers, Savage Vanguards, I'm looking forward to seeing all of them perform. I mean, Savage Vanguard, in all that went down, they lost 2 of their teammates already. Unfortunate, but that is how the cookie crumbles. That is how the game plays out. And now that is what we love to see. Star Wars looking very, very solid. 6 eliminations to one of their players. Probably going to be the MVP of the game. Marvin had no idea that the ops were lurking around. They get the drop on him, and he goes back into the lobby. Not what he was expecting, but the end of the road as well. And that is the action that we love to see. Game on. Play zone on the horizon, closing out any moment from now. And that is what we love to know, that all of these teams are very capable of pulling across the board. But now it is more, as it is, it's much more central. Pochinki is still in the conversation, though. As you can see right there, ideas are starting to float in and keep the teams into bay, though. We've still got a couple of teams coming in from that northern side. Lupin is spotted, though. The big boys, 1 elimination. Imagine calling yourself the big boys, but you only have 1 elimination so far, and there's a team here that has 12. Come on, big boys. You can be bigger than this. You can be absolutely bigger than this. Get bigger. Get absolutely bigger. A Savage Vanguard, they have to play this one a little bit closer to the chest now, because they've only got 2 players left. They're playing as a duo, and we've still got a bunch of other teams that have 4 players alive. So they have to make sure that everything pans out the way that they want, and they might be able to close this one over to the other side there. Sahil, he sees the shots and he rains hell on the ops as they drive through, but fortunately for him, they need to deal. I believe it is the big boys that they do have their sights on. The guys from Star Wars probably have to crash that little compound and take it away from themselves. They're trying to hold out in Pochinki, though. And it's going to be very difficult. There's not a lot of utilities in the area nonetheless. But now they will try to prioritize keeping the position and everything that they've got so far. Ooh, well, co-leader is putting work in. YTS also putting work in. They've got 5 eliminations now. They're looking very confident. We're down to 10 teams now. And you can see them dancing around the crates of the team that they just slaughtered. Shadow and Shifu have been quietly going under the radar. They've got 3 eliminations though. And they are playing this quite nicely. A little bit slow, close to the chest, closer to the edge of the circle. You know, that is one of the better known strategies. Still looking for those predictions in the chat though. You know, everyone is saying Star Wars is going to win, but I heard Z Killers, you know, and YTS are like the best teams in all of Zambia. Is it true, Chad? Is that true? That's what I heard though, but I'm not sure if that's true. But I mean, the proof's in the pudding, right? But we're going to see if that's going to be the case. C86 down to their last player, 414. He's trying to keep it on the low, keep it on the horizon. An Outlaw from the big boys, still trying to hold this region though. I mean, it's not a bad place to hold. Not necessarily the most offensive though, but it's not a bad spot to hold. Not a bad spot at all. We're going to see if they will be able to manage it nonetheless. C86, 414 did get caught out there. He gets knocked away. He gets sent back into the lobby. Not the way he was expecting it to go down though, but it is still very much ideal. And it might work in their favor. But we will see if they will be able to manage and keep it up onto the front lines there. Very ideal the way they have been able to match the energy of the rest of the lobby here. But Star Wars closer and closer. The zone is closing out. We're down to 9 teams now. 31 players alive. And it could be anyone's game. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to like, share, and subscribe. Infinix putting this together. You got to respect Infinix. MTN as well. Those are the big dogs. Amazing tournament put together. Now it is a rise to the occasion for Savage Vanguard because, like I said, they got to play this one a little bit slower. They only have 2 players left, Madara and Sally. And their main man official has been sent back into the lobby. So he has to think, they have to think very, very pragmatically on how they want to advance their position into the zone. The zone has shifted, though, into Pochinki, I might add. So if you're one of those people in the chat that said, do you love to play in Pochinki? Well, you would have loved to play in this game. Savage Vanguard, so they have a clear path to make that rotation from the western side as well to get into Pochinki unscathed. Because right now, every single team is trying to get into that city. And if you're not there early, it is going to cost you a lot. It is going to be an expensive venture. And it's going to be very, very expensive for you. It's going to cost you. So you got to make sure that you do the job and you do it right. An Outlaw on the horizon here. He has put things into perspective, the way he has been holding down the fort for the big boys, but there's a whole lot more they need to do, a whole lot more. Looks like chaos is already brewing as the teams have started to move into Pochinki. They have started to run into each other as well. P90, I spot someone with a P90 there, and that gun is a game changer, but looks like the big boys have been blocked here by another team on the other side. Outlaw gets the opener on one of them immediately there, and he swaps immediately to the UMP, and now he's breaking forward. Vehicle goes up in the flames over to the right-hand side. Grenade is good, tries to drop through, plays off to the left-hand side, gets sprayed, but unfortunately misses, but his teammate is there. Jabs gets the drop on him as well. Outlaw pressing forward, but his teammate's going to get knocked away. Trades off again, loses out, but he's only got 2 rounds, and unfortunately, the grenade is good. Ghost drops it over to the right-hand side. That's a big drop for them. Outlaws And the big boys looking very good here, but they can't seem to hold the angles right because Outlaws is out of bullets. He's out of bullets. Oh, he's going to be dropped away as well. And the click goes out. B's into the other side. M4 drops through from Ghost, trying to get the angles right. His teammates can't seem to get the angles on him. Getting dropped. Plays off the right-hand side. Peeks behind the tree. Gets a couple shots. He swaps immediately to the DBS. First shot. Jump. Left side from the Ghost. From the big boys. Gets the drop on him immediately. That was dangerously close. Outlaw ran out of bullets at the worst possible time, but his teammate, the Ghost, was there to save him and keep the big boys alive. But that was very, very dangerous. Was that the Z killers they eliminated? Oh my goodness. Well, that was crazy, but the job is done nonetheless. And they're trying to drop it in, though, but they're looking very confident the way they have been able to manage this one. But I'm pretty sure that would have kept something on. Shifu losing Ghost. Courtesy of Sally. Savage Vanguard is still causing commotion. Even though they are playing as two, they are not stopping. Shadow from Shifu is trying to keep this one on, though. We're down to 7 teams, 22 players alive as well, trying to keep it on. Fox trying to hold the lines into the open spaces, though they have been very proactive in how they've been able to manage their positions and keep the line in. But yeah, man. Well, Shifu, I believe they're down to just 1. JK has been sent back into the lobby as well. Not the best drop, but YTS to have been sent back into the lobby, but they did have 10 eliminations though, so that could help them in the long run. Remember, the goal is to just finish in the top 8, so you will advance into the finals, and that is where you want to be. That is absolutely where you want to be at this stage, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we love to see. But the party is on. The party is non-stopping, ladies and gentlemen. It is the PUBG Mobile MTN Infinix National Championship Tournament. 8,200 USD, man. When I heard the prize pool, I was like, there's no way. My God, my goodness. 1,200. Oh, wow. LSK 94. Well, that was some chaos there. Spray was good. 2-piece from Enipa. 2020. Division is 2020 for sure. Savage Vanguard have found themselves inside of zone. Now, this is a team that knows how to play the angles. This is a team that knows how to play the positions. They are looking very, very good, dropping the angles there. They're working it hard. But now we are down to just 4 teams, and the chicken dinner, the chicken dinner, you already know. There is a team here that has 4 players alive, and that is the team that is most likely going to win this game just because of sheer numbers. But the big boys, they've shown what they can do. They can turn this game around. They can do something special. But do they have it in their wallet? Do they have it in their wallet? Do they have it in their wallet? Do they have what it takes? Ooh. This is where it's about to get very enticing as the play zone is going to be closing out. Ooh, someone actually shot up the loot truck. I was not even aware. Is that where the P90 came out from? Is that where that guy got the P90 from? You know, someone, chat, what do you guys think about those loot trucks, though? Do you think it's a good addition? I mean, they've been around for a while now, and I think they're here to stay. But how do you guys feel about the loot trucks? You know, do you guys feel like it's a good addition? Do you think it's a little bit too much? I mean, you still got to, you know, actively want to go to the loot trucks, though, nonetheless. But either way, you know, it's still something that we've seen before. Before it was you know, the airdrops, but now it's the loot truck, and they move around, so you just gotta understand the path. But it looks like Savage Vanguard, Sally's gonna be poked out to the corner, but Sally gets the first drop. Sally might be going for the second one there, but he's taking a lot of damage, and now they're gonna be forced into the other corner. His teammate Madara has been spotted. He takes a hit, but woo! Well, the big boys have pulled up into the scene as well, and Sally now has his work cut out for him, getting a drop onto the other side, try to go for the finish as well. Papi's been get knocked away, and he blows up the vehicle, takes a couple of hits as well. Madara gets the job on Poppy as well, fakes him immediately. Madara getting the job done, immediately gets the drop. That's another one going down the lines there. Savage Vanguard, 12 eliminations. They're holding it tight. They're not giving away too much space, but the play zone is not favorable for them at all at this stage. And they might be able to hold it on, but it's going to take a little bit more than what they would think, as Madara is trying to hold it in and is trying to keep this on. The smokes, the grenades, all the utilities going out the window. And they will try to keep it a little bit closer to the vest here, as Madara has found his way into the smokes. And they have created a little bit of a path for themselves to get that chicken dinner. Can they make it happen? Sally's going to make a rotation around the right-hand side there, as he's going to take a drop and take a hit. And now it's going to be very, very, very interesting for Madara as he's crawling into the zone, crawling to make sure that the job is done here. But it's going to be very difficult for him at this stage. Can Madara make it happen? Sally's gonna be run over by Sahil. And don't forget, Jabs is still very much riding around somewhere for Team 19. And he is looking very confident there, but Madara is already making a dash for it here for Savage Vanguard, and hopefully he does not get spotted. But Jabs is still holding it on here for the big boys. He is the only one alive for his team. And we've got a team here. Star Wars, 18 eliminations. Jabs is charging a grenade. They're going to go aura for aura, grenade for grenade now. But Sahil's grenade drops, and Jab's grenade is going to trade off as well, as he gets knocked away just before he kisses death and goes back to the lobby. Now Toxic has to press a little bit forward, but is he aware? Does he know? He knows. Madara knows that guy is going to pick up his teammate, but he cannot allow him. He cannot allow him to pick up his teammate. Madara has to press forward. He has to make sure that this does not become a 2 versus 1. It's a 1v1 right now, but he has been picked up. Sahil has managed to pick his teammate up. Can Madara make a dash for it and provide himself some cover? Over to the left side, he does. Madara with the slay of the century, the last drop, he gets the job done. And that chicken dinner goes to the guys from Savage Vanguard. Could they be the best team in Zambia right now? My goodness. Woo! Well, that is how you turn up the heat. That is how you turn it up, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we love to see. Match number 1 just came to an end. We've still got 3 more matches for you, so do not touch that dial. Stay locked in. Stay tuned in with me. It is action like you've never seen it before. It is the PUBG Mobile, Infinix, and MTN National Championship Tournament. So stay locked in. We'll be right back for match number 2. Showtime is on. Showtime is on, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. And we just saw the guys from Savage Vanguard put on a masterclass performance. Even after going down to just two players, they still managed to get that chicken dinner. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. It does not get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen. It does not. That is what you call a complete performance. But can they do it again? Can they turn this around again? I mean, we saw a couple of inklings from some teams. We saw a little bit of dancing around for some teams. But now this is where they need to lock in. Remember, top eight advance to the finals. The top eight teams, it is up to them to get into the finals to join the remaining top eight from our next set of teams that will be participating after this particular match. So you got to keep it locked in. You have to be sure. You have to be ready. You have to be certain of your plans. Playing path is good, though. Going in from east to west, cutting right through the middle. Right through the middle. So we've got teams that do love to play in Graveyard, Power Grid, La Bendita, Hacienda del Patron, Water Treatment, El Pozo, Crater Fields, Cris de Valle, El Azahar, Tierra Bronca, Impala, I think La Bendita as well, even Los Leones. I think if you can make a jump as far, I think Los Leones is still very reachable. I think we've got teams in Chumacera as well, Monte Nuevo and Pecado, of course. So it is anyone's game at this stage. It is anyone's game. So we're going to see who wants it more. Who's gonna do a little bit more to just get a little bit farther. Well. The action is already brewing. It's already kicking off. The body's already starting to drop. Savage Official, they have been putting this one into perspective. They have been very proactive in the way they've been able to hold this one. Star Wars off the rip. 4 eliminations already. Sahil. They looked very good in the last game. They almost got it in, but unfortunately, Savage Vanguard just had it a little bit more than them. As you can currently see, 25 points to 24 points between the two teams. And you gotta love it. You absolutely gotta love it, though. But we got the guys from the big boys as well, 13 points. So we're currently looking at our top 8. If you take a look to your right, you can see the live standings, the live leaderboard right now. So we're currently looking at the top 8 teams. I think it goes all the way down to if you go to the other side. Oh, that's a nice shot from Hassan. And he closes that one out, and he closes it out quickly. Z Killers. Chad, are Z Killers good, or are they cooked? Because I heard someone saying the last game that Z Killers are actually better than Star Wars, the Big Boys, and Savage Vanguard. Is that true? Someone in the chats actually said that, but I don't know if that's true though. I'm not convinced. But someone said that they're like the best team. Well, LKS 53 have been sent back into the lobby though, so we're gonna have to ward out a little bit of a context there. But one shot is probably gonna have to hold through as the play zone is gonna be closing out any moment in the next 3 minutes. And Zekil has already got someone at M24. M24 already? Wow. Okay, chat. These guys did not come to play around. M24 off the rib is something that is absolutely insane. A little bit of a conduit there, but either way, there's still a little bit of nuance though, right? There's still so much nuance. And now that is what we've seen time and time again. There's been a whole lot of parading and questioning for some of these teams, though, but they have been very, very capable. They've been very able to see this down. Now they will try to lock it in and lock it on. Eyes on the prize, nonetheless. Have been very proactive right now because CA16 have been trying to close the gap between themselves and the rest of the other teams that are chasing them down, but it doesn't look like they've been able to do that successfully just yet. But there's still time though. You know, we're still in phase one of the circle. There's still a lot of time to loot. There's still a lot of time to pick up utilities. I haven't actually mastered the travel path for the loot trucks in Miramar though. Chat, where do the loot trucks actually go in Miramar? Which I know that I think we have one that like goes around Pecado, I think. But I'm not I think that's like the only one I know. So can you guys tell me in the comments like where the other loot trucks go? Where do the other ones go? Ooh, well, oh, Mali had no idea there, but Fallen Falcon was ready. And the Class Clowns have started to put in work. Class Clowns, interestingly enough, were among the first teams to be sent back into the lobby the first game. Interesting enough, they were one of the first teams to be sent back into the lobby in the first game. So again, remember the goal is to finish in the top 8. That is where you need to finish. Inside of the top 8, that is where you need to finish. Four Infinix Hot 70s, chat. Four. That's the new Infinix. Yeah, that's the new. I just did my research. That's the newest Infinix Hot. Yeah, I just saw it. Like it's so sleek. It's so clean. It looks so good. And then walk away with that. I think 1,200 USD, and I think you get some royal passes as well. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. This has to be like the best reward you could ask for. Brand new phone, cash, and RP. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, chat. Come on. Because I mean, I can imagine having some UC and some RP sent my way. The kind of spins I will be doing in this game, I will spin for still all my spinning. I haven't gotten a Glacier still. I haven't gotten a Glacier. I haven't gotten a Joker. I haven't gotten anything like real, like proper, right? The only thing I've got is like AKM 7Cs. That's like the only thing I have. And a couple of vehicles there. I've got a Bugatti though. Can't be mad at having a Bugatti. But even at that, Chad, I want a Glacier. Someone should tell me the way I need to spin so I can get a Glacier or a Joker. I need to just how do you spin or what time do you spin? Do you spin in the middle of the night? Do you spin early in the morning? Do you spin in the middle of the day? What do I need to spin so I can get a Glacier? Like what kind of packs do I need to open? When do I open those packs? When do I do those things so I can get myself a Glacier, chat? Please, someone should let me know. Is this guy with Winchester? My chapel is the Winchester. I mean, I always respect players that use different weapons, though. Players that use different weapons, I always respect them. It looks like some action is brewing over to that northwestern side of the map right now. So we'll see how that is going to pan out. But bodies are dropping like flies on that northwestern side, very close to the zone. It's LSK69 in trouble. Boyka trying to hold it in here. He swapped through immediately with the M4, trying to get an angle there, trying to pause it together. Goes for the headshot. He does connect. And LSK69 will get a job done. 4 eliminations. Now we're down to 15 teams already, 56 players alive. And everybody is running helter-skelter at this stage. We've got 2 teams, 3 teams, 4 teams with 4 eliminations already. And we've got a couple of stragglers with 1 and 2 somewhere lurking around there as well. So we'll see. But right now, chat, remember, top 8 is the goal. Who's currently sitting in top 8, though? I think Shifu. I think Shifu is where the line cuts. So, and Shifu is already out. So Shifu need to hope that the rest of the teams beneath them do not get any more points to pass them inside of the top 8. But it's looking very unlikely because we've got the Class Clowns. They've already got 2 eliminations. All they need to do is just get a couple more and they will shift into that top 8 and boot the guys from Shifu out, unfortunately. So we'll see if they are going to be able to do that. Play zone is already hard and its tail stops moving, and it's moving quickly as well. Now there is trying to keep it up. My Chappelle. My chapel, is it my chapel or my chapel? Because it's always interesting the way these names come through. Ooh, woo! Well, he is definitely cooking. That is 2 sprays and 2 bodies in the air for LSK 72. My chapel already taking them to church. Send them one after the other. Now he's swinging through with the Fennec, gets shot to the left hand side again, tries to drop it through. He knows that he's trying to pick up his teammate. He's got the AKM. He's going to hold it on, trying to pack it through as well. Swaps through. Grenade! But he wasted too much time and he is hurt in the process. The smoke comes out, protects the vision, and CNPI will hold on. 2 eliminations. And now they are on the up and up. They have already shifted all the way through. 4 eliminations, actually. They've already shifted all the way through. So they've got an extra 4. So all they need to do now is get, I think, 1 more or 2 more, and they are automatically into the top 8. A little bit of a questionable decision to make this rotation from here, though, increase the vibe, because the northern side is very jam-packed. We've got a bunch of teams all coming through from the north. There's no team central. There's nobody in the central positions. Picado is very much empty. Los Leones is empty. It's only La Bendita, I think, that's got a couple bodies in there in Graveyard, just playing a bit more central. But even at that, it is very tricky. It is very, very difficult to keep track. As you can see, the play zone is closing out. So where's he going to go? I think he's going to go towards the western side. I was right, Chad. I was right. Even though I did not say that the moment I saw it. I said it before it happened, Chad. Nobody should come for me. Hacienda, though, very much in the mix there. Power Grid, Picado, Graveyard. Those are the places you want to be right now. Interestingly enough, there's nobody in Picado still. I'm quite surprised, though. But the play zone is going to be closing out in just about 180 seconds. So they got to get a move on, and they got to get a move on quickly. The big boys, we saw them put up a masterclass performance in the previous game. They got 13 points on the good. All they need to do now is just keep it consistent so they can get into the finals. Now, there is a little bit of a cause for concern for some of these teams, though. They've tried to keep things proactive either way, but it's been very difficult, to protect themselves, especially at this stage of the tournament. But either way, very proactive, very, very proactive. They've done a magnificent job so far. But they have to do a little bit more, a whole lot more, if they want to make something happen. Play zone is closing out. We've still got LSK 69 inside of the blue zone. Was one of them, or rather 2 of them inside of the blue zone. Oh, shots with the mini 14 there from OG Kush. And he manages to deal with Sly. And he puts him back into the lobby while a lot of his teammates are going to be putting it, dropping it, line it in. And now there is going to be a sharp shift again to just put it onto the draft there. But they have been looking very decent. They've been looking very good. And they might be able to slow this one down just a little bit more, though, but we'll see if that's going to be the case. Official is going to hold the lines there. Savage Vanguard already starting off strong again. 5 eliminations to the good. But in all of their endeavors, Star Wars are still leading them with a point. That's to show you the difference in the levels there. So they have to be very, very consistent if they want to keep the chase on, if they want to finish number 1 in this lobby. Got to do a little bit more there. But they've got what it takes. They've got what it takes. Yamin is going to have to be very careful here. YTS in a lot of trouble. Yamin is going to be the last one left. But fortunately for them, they are in the top 8, but this is not the time you want to get eliminated, because if you do get eliminated early, the chances of you staying in the top 8 gets very, very slim, because the other teams that are beneath you are going to be adding and adding more points on the board. Presently sitting with 14 teams, though, 47 players as well. It's been a very interesting rhetoric, the way teams have been progressing so far, but it is a dance and a half there to keep the ecosystem and the product they've kept together here. Looks like Sahil and the Star Wars are starting to add a little bit more. Savage Vanguard also trying to keep it in. 5 eliminations to the good. They're adding more. Now they're up to 6. And like I said, Winchester season. We're starting to see the rise of the Winchester. Going to be a little bit of an emotional draft though from Boyka, because he has been sent back into the lobby though. He's been knocked away there. Not the most ideal shift. Not necessarily what he was expecting. But it is what happens, you know, it is what happens. It is part of the game. It is part of the strategy. Now there is a cause for concern here, but we're gonna have to try this one out if they want to find out more, but they got to get some more bodies in there. Remember, you have to finish in the top 8. You just have to finish in the top 8. That is the goal. You have to finish in the top 8. In everything you do, finishing top 8 is the only thing that matters. If you're not in the top 8, what is you doing? If you are not in the top 8, what is you doing? Play Zone is going to be hot on their heels any moment from now. Any moment from now. Everybody's going to have to hightail it and get themselves into prerequisite positions, though, but it is very ideal the way they've been able to hold it in still. Shots are flying all over the place, though. It's very ideal the way they've been able to track this one in, but nonetheless, it's very, very proactive. It's trying to keep himself hidden while all this is going on, though. Because right now, NSK 14 blank. You're cruising through the desert, and you're keeping it 100. The Sandstorm just out of graveyard, though. They're looking quite nice. We've still got 14 teams alive, 44 players still very much in the mix there. Is that YTS? Is that the last player from YTS? I think it is him, but they're gonna let him be on his way, and they're gonna be on their own way as well. They're not trying to get into anything. 20 seconds on the clock, though. The zone is getting smaller and smaller, and it has moved towards the northern side of Hacienda del Patron. So that is the goal. That is where you want to be. That is how you want to hold. That is the job you want to do. little bit of a cause for concern there for Savage Vanguard. They've been dwelling on 5 eliminations so far, but it looks like they're trying to hold this area a little bit close to the official with a first spray to get the angles down. Yamin getting dropped as well. He immediately takes a hit. That's a fantastic grenade over the top there from official. They get the angles right, and they will get that first drop. And now they've started to circle around like sharks. They can smell the blood in the water. Yes, Yamin, they get knocked away in that sequence. But unfortunately for them, they will not be able to hold it in. And another grenade to follow suit. If he lands perfectly, might get the job done. But they missed by just a couple of inches. But another grenade to seal into the corner as well. Officials trying to hold it in, but no chance for him. Salih getting the drop done again, getting a drop. 6 eliminations now. Drop into the corner. Trade-off is good. First knock, second knock as well to follow through. Savage Vanguard coming fresh off that chicken dinner. They will not stop. They get another drop. Yamin goes down. YTS packed up and dropped back into the lobby. And that's what we love to see, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we love to see. And that is the power of persistence. Well. You have to respect the shotgun at close range. You just have to respect it. You can never go wrong. I mean, I wouldn't say never go wrong, but the shotgun, you just got to respect it at close quarters, man. It gets the job done almost every single time. The big boys cruising through, still yet to secure any eliminations just yet, but they don't really have to worry about it too much. As long as teams keep getting eliminated before them, they're doing just fine. Although I don't think this is going to work for them, though. But we will see. We will see. Just trying to get a little bit more proactive, get a little bit more active than they would have liked, though. But either they try to progress it or try to keep it a buck, but you can see the play zone has shifted from Hacienda, from the northern side towards the west of San Martin, and a whole bunch of teams. They're still yet to make the rotations, but most of the teams in the northern side, they're already making a dash for it, for that left-hand side, to keep it all tight, to keep it very close as well. There is a very, very huge chance that they might be able to just hold on a little bit longer. We are in phase 4 of the circle. 13 seconds, 10 seconds on the clock here before the zone is going to close out into phase 5. And that is where you cannot afford to be outside the zone. We've got 11 teams as well. 36, I believe, 36 players alive. Yes, 36 players alive. So you cannot afford to make any mistakes at this stage. You cannot afford to get dropped out. Class Clowns are still not in the top 8, though. You know, interesting enough, they're still not in the top 8. They need to do a whole lot more. But they've started quite nicely with 4 eliminations. LSK 15 have been eliminated. Now we are down to the top 10 teams. Remember, the goal is to finish in the top 8. Not in the top 8 of this match, in the top 8 overall in the past 2 matches, those. So, Chad, let's get those predictions. Do you guys think LSK 24 is going to make it to the top 8? CNPI as well. They've started off with 4 eliminations. They do have what it takes. Z Killers. Someone said Z Killers is the best team. Hey, someone said it, not me. Someone said they're the best team in Zambia right now. Chad, is that true? Because, I mean, they've got 5 eliminations and they have all of their players alive. So there is still a big chance that that could be true. Could be trading off again. Big spray from Gaddafi. And the trade-off is good. Grenade launched over the top side. Manages to get a drop on. So 2 versus 1. Trying to pays off again. Gaddafi with the pre-angles, with the pre-sprays, with the pre-drops. And that's a pack to follow through. LSK 60. Now he continues to spray them down. Even after they've been dropped. What kind of wickedness is that, Chad? I mean, he's cooking them. Is that why his name is Gaddafi? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. LSK 69, though. Good start from them. 9 eliminations now. But they are still trailing behind the likes of Savage Vanguard, who have 10. You know, and in all of this, remember, top 8 is where you want to be. So you can finish strong. Ooh, looks like Z Killers could be in a world of trouble here. One of their players has been knocked away, and that could be a big, big problem for them. But right now, OG Kush, 9 eliminations for LSK 69. They're trying to hold the lines over to the top side of that mountain. They do have a very, very clear sight line to the rest of the other teams there. But Ichigo's been getting called by Papi there. Ooh, it is going to be a very interesting one, though. Savage Vanguards against, I believe it is Star Wars that have pulled up into the scene there, but I'm not sure. Zed Killer's also in the mix. A whole lot of teams in the area. It is looking very, very steep. San Martin is no longer in the zone. At least for the majority of it, is no longer in the zone. So they will need to advance. They need to get into better positions. Fortunately for Official, he gets into siege and gets into his vehicle and starts to reposition. Now they are trying to reduce the formalities and the positions that they have got themselves into. But again, there are still a lot of nuances for this one. Zed Killers have gotten their teammate picked up again. They are trying to make sure that they don't get caught while trying to make a rotation around those corners, around those bases. It is all left to them now. Can they see it through? Can they find out? Right now, Bin Laden, Gaddafi. Come on, guys. You guys need to chill with these names, dog. Come on. Bin Laden, Gaddafi. Come on. Are we gonna see Hussein now? Chat. Come on, guys. What are these names, man? But Lupin is with a sight line over to that other side again. He has tried to spray them down a couple of times though, but he has missed. Hopefully the third one is going to be a charm. Angle is exposed. Sally gets a drop, and that will be elimination number 13 for the guys from Savage Vanguard. But they drop another. Official is absolutely cooking. Adam going down as well. Trade off again to follow suit. They're up to 15 now. And now surely, without a doubt, they are currently sitting in front. Lupin already picked his head up. He gets dropped away as well. But the big boys, can they hold up against the guys from Savage Vanguard? Grenades already flying through the high ground position. Can he get his teammate picked up? The angles are very steep. They're very tight. They could be caught here into a little bit of a sandwich. They have to make sure that the other side of the bridge is covered and protected. This Primeric is also trying to hold it in. Lupin finally getting picked up, but again, the angles are very tight. Carnage from LSK 14. Trying to pack it in again. First shot is good. He's got a P90, though. He has to be very careful, but the shotgun is equal to the task. Jump shot to the right-hand side. P90 immediately pulls him and gets him down to his knees. And now Mishek trying to play it over to the right-hand side. Shifu again trying to peek through. LSK 114 is on to the draw, but no chance for him. They will be eliminated at the spiteful hands of an S12K. Star Wars will not be backing down at all. LSK 69 with a sideline of their own, shots flying through, and the M1 Grand is trying to load it through from the Warlord position, and they're trying to hold it in. 12 eliminations for them so far. We've got two teams actually with 12 eliminations. And that is to tell you the levels of the performance. And Sally's getting called. The big boys get swept away in that same position. And Gaddafi now with a sight line of his own. They're up to 3 now, trying to close the gap and spread the width as well. But it's going to be very difficult. Savage Vanguard, we've seen what they're capable of as a 2-man. They're currently sitting with 3 players. There's still a chance for them to win this game. But all they have to do is keep it tight, keep it close. They've already lost Sally. He ventured off on his own and he got dropped away. Good use of the smokes from Savage Vanguard to shield a path into the zone for themselves. But again, the zone is just a little bit too far out. They're taking damage from the blue as they're making an advancement for it. And they are getting forced into very uncomfortable areas and uncomfortable positions here. Paramang almost making it through, but no dice. Star Wars and Savage Vanguard both eliminated by none other than the blue zone. Now it is all left to the class clowns. Can they make it happen in a 2 versus 2 here? Kabasuki is trying to hold it in. High ground position could work in his favor, but unfortunately for him, LSK 69 have a much better angle, a much better position to make something happen. And one of your players, I believe, has an M1 Grand. So Kabasuki has to be very careful. If he peeks his head here, he might be getting his helmet taken off. And that might be the end of the road for him. But if he's not careful enough, end of discussion. Doesn't manage to hold this down. OG Kush trying to get an angle on this. That might be prerogative for him. 2 versus 2. OG Kush looking for a way around. The smokes are hiding the angles there, but it looks like he will be making an advance just to pick up a little bit of something that's getting dropped off there for the utilities. Just to stack up a little bit. I mean, LSK69, they've got the play zone. They don't need to move around too much. They've got the zone. It is left to the Class Clowns. Can they advance? Can they get into a better position? Remember, the goal is top 8. Class Clowns will get to top 8 if they win this game. But if they don't win, I'm not too sure. I am not too sure because they are tied on points with Shifu. And Shifu is the team that is currently sitting in 8th place. So they got to win. They absolutely have to win this game. But if they don't win, oh, shot is good. With the M1 Grand, he gets the first drop onto Kawasaki again. And I said that if Kawasaki makes the mistake of peeking his head out, he will take a hit. But I believe they don't know where the other guy, they don't know where his other teammate is. They're tossing grenades, they're tossing Molotovs, they're tossing everything over to the right-hand side, and they're dancing because they know that they're one step closer to the final. I think they know that the job is all but done. All they have to do now is hold it in. But I'm not sure they know exactly where this guy is. They're tossing all the smokes, all the grenades, but they don't know where he is. It is the dark one. Now, we're trying to advance. Well, here comes OG Kush. He's making a dash for it now. He's also making a dash into the other side. He sprays into the other side again, but he does get dropped. And the job is done. The Class Clowns go out in 2nd place, and LSK69 will take the chicken dinner. And that is what we love to see. Savage Vanguard, Star Wars, the big boys, YTS, Z Killers, all of these teams, they look very, very solid, but the performance is absolutely incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the games for this particular lobby of teams. We're about to move into a brand new set of teams, so do not touch that down. Stay locked in with me. We'll be right back. But take a look at the overall rankings. Before we go right for the break, let's take a look at the overall rankings. Savage Vanguard, 48 points. Star Wars with 41. 32 for SK69, the big boys with 18. YTS2 with 12. 11 for the Class Clowns. 10 for Z Killers. And LSK94 is the top 8. Shifu, unfortunately, did not manage to stay in the top 8. They have been eliminated. They go out in 9th. LSK114 also getting dropped off. And on the other side, CNPI did not make it in. LSK15, CB16, LSK24, LSK99, CB13, blank, C86, LSK72, and LSK53. Unfortunately, no points on the board for them. But ladies and gentlemen, it is not over just yet. You're watching the PUBG Mobile MTN Infinix National Championship Tournament. So stay locked in with me. We'll be right back after the break to bring you more action in a brand new set of teams. right. We are back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. The party is on. And this is where the best of the best are about to show their level, show their mettle, and prove to us why they should be in the finals of the PUBG Mobile MTN and Infinix National Team Championship. Party is on, very much on. We're about to see who's about to take it upon themselves to turn this game into something special. Playing path is good though. Playing path is good though. Playing to that northern side. So we've got a brand new set of teams. It's a brand new lobby. So we're going to see for ourselves who is going to be the master of this lobby. Are we going to get another Savage Vantage or be Vantage Savage team? What's the name of the team that was even cooking? Savage Vanguard, Savage Vanguard, and Star Wars. Yeah, we're gonna have the likes of those teams in this lobby. Well, I'm seeing a lot of movement though. Might be getting impressed there. Ooh, that's a nice spray, nice shot, right through the between the eyes. Right through between the eyes there. About to see who's gonna turn this pressure on. Party's on already. Party's already all the way through. Trying to lock it in though. See if there is some. And a little bit of a sequence for some of these teams though. But we're about to see if they will be able to keep it on. Now we'll see for ourselves. CV10 again, just to keep it a little bit closer, keep it a little bit kosher. The assassinations already up 3 eliminations. LSK 19 with only 1 for Izrakta. Haven't added anything yet, but we're about to see if there's more where that came from. Boyka Faizan. LSK 19 onto the front foot. You're trying to prioritize a drop here. Ooh, that's going to be the end of the road for him, as he has been hightailed back into the lobby. The Molotov from Fahim just to keep the rest of those teams at bay so they do not cause any problems for him. While that is going on, bodies are getting dropped on the other side. SPI have an idea as to what they are trying to accomplish here. And he's on the rise, on the horizon. It's not the worst one we've seen, but it's definitely not the best. And there is a little bit of a concord, a bit of a back and forth between those two teams. Again, they've done mostly a lot. They've done really a lot though to keep these other perspectives from what we've seen so far. But again, it's not even the worst one. There's a whole lot of nuance, a whole lot of dynamics to playing, tournaments like these with very, very huge incentives and very solid prize pools. You gotta respect it. I wonder what the best city in Zambia is. I would like to come to Zambia one day, though. I heard, I mean, I do love the Zambian weather. Uh, a couple of other things about the country. I won't say too much, but I do love a little bit of, a little bit of Zambia in there. Chad, if you know, you know, right? If you know, you know. I do love me a little bit of Zambia in there, if you know what I mean. So, either way, parties on in front. We're locked in. We're pre-doms. And there is a little bit of a prerogative here, though, for some of these other teams that haven't been able to stand tall or stand strong. Right now, SK2 are looking like they might be able to close this gap a little bit more. They've got 2 eliminations so far, about to make it 3. And that will be the third one, sharing 1 apiece as well. I mean, nothing brings a team closer together than when everybody eats, right? When everybody gets at least an elimination, it boosts morale, right, chat? When everybody gets eliminations in the team, especially early in the game, it boosts morale. It keeps you, yeah, we can do this, we can win this. I think it keeps everything on the high ground, on the high side. Morale is always on the up, everything's always steady. And let's get to a little bit of a combine though. There's one player lurking around, but I'm not sure they know where he is. So they have to be very careful. Nothing is worse than a solo lingering player. Well, the assassinator is about to feel that one too. And say just I don't know if a trade-off for the assassinators have been assassinated. And that happened in quick succession, very quickly as well. Not what they were expecting, but what came to meet them. Interesting enough, that's actually my favorite shotgun, like the S686, man. Double barrel, straight gas. You don't miss those, man. One shot is always gonna take, man. Well, Z Apex have Sam all by his lonesome here. Not sure what's going on through his mind here. Hasn't picked up anything. It's just lurking in the corner. Might be able to see this one through as well. CB2 with a thought of their own, but Sam has been discovered in his little cranny. And that will be the end of the road for him, as he will be knocked all the way back into the lobby. Right now, this lobby feels a little bit more balanced. I don't think we have any teams here that are going to be doing 15 eliminations or 18 eliminations just yet, but I could be wrong. But the other lobby started firing. They were firing off the rip. By this time of the game, we had gotten a bunch of eliminations already. So, but it looks like this lobby is a little bit different. I think we've got more calmer teams, much more nuance for some of these teams here. They're playing it slow and steady. Play zone is closing out though. Though William has been knocked out by Elijah. So a whole lot of thinking twice, you know? Yeah, a whole lot of thinking twice if you ask me though for some of these teams. And there's a little bit of an interesting dynamic with trying to hold on to the zone as much as possible though, but it's going to be always very difficult, especially when you have lobbies that have a lot of players early on, you know, and there's we're going to see. Now there is a bit of a context for it, but you know, to try to make sure that your strategy sticks. You know, some teams like to play a little bit closer to the edge of the circle. Some teams like to just play it safe. You know, some teams just like to be a little bit more proactive, right? Some teams just like a little bit of incentives. They like to be by the edge of the circle. Some like to be at the center where all the action is happening. Some like to ride the wave. You know, wherever the zone goes, they just follow it. So it's always going to be interesting to see if that's going to be the case here. SPI though, trying to keep it a buck. Still one elimination on the board. LSK 69 though, have to try again and again. They are playing as three. We are in phase two of the circle. We've got a couple minutes before it moves again. And this is where it gets arguably interesting. Zone is adding some more pizzazz here because they are going to be pressing forward. If you get the angles right, this could work, but he's exposed and he's caught in a little bit of a sandwich, though. He's turned his back onto the team that he was actually just shooting. And that is about to make things go from bad to worse. Grenade and a Molotov in sequence there. Swaps immediately to the Bison immediately as well, getting that drop. That's two bodies now getting caught out in possession. And they might try into the other side again. Peeks on into the corner, but he does manage to deal some damage, but he manages to escape and get behind the rock. But he has to be careful here. The unknown is trying to make sure, and the job is done. He pulls up into the scene there, swaps through, gets the drop on him, and they pull up on him as well. And Todimon Grim is all left to him now. All of his teammates have been vanquished. Doesn't look like there's much he can do from here. But I think he just pulled up and gave away his position as well. Loyalties probably have to swap through and play off around the right-hand side to get a better angle on him. He has been spotted though. He has been spotted, making a dash for it, back up the hillside. And FaZe Rakda spotting through and closing it down. Twizzy is the one that gets the final shot. LSK 59 back into the lobby. They have been escorted by a much more superior team. Again, like I said, these teams here are pretty much balanced out, though. Ooh, remember, revive me, bro. Well, they will not be getting revived. They're back into the lobby. whole lot of questionable rotations in what I've seen so far, though. Very questionable rotations. And now CB2, one of their teammates, has been knocked away here. I don't know if they can get to him, but they should be able to. That is if they will be allowed to even move. Oof, no chance for him. He got caught just outside. But fortunately for him, he can crawl behind cover and hide a little bit of his angles there. It's going to be a very interesting dynamic if he can keep it together. But SPI, they have the angles. They have everything covered in this entire area. Got a team trying to play in a 2-2 split. 2 on one side, 2 on the other. And they're feeling it now. They're feeling it a lot, really. Now there is a little bit of a point guard again to line it up. Now Zed is going to try to keep things under siege here. They have secured more eliminations. They're up to 3 now, but we've got a team that has 7 already. So we're starting to see that little deviation between one team and the rest of the other teams here. Killer Rob. Killer Bob. Still yet to secure any for themselves. Play zone is closing out now. Phase number 2. We're about to head into phase number 3, but it looks like LSK2 are going to be taking this one for themselves. They're bombarding these guys into the corner. They're trying to make sure something happens. That's a good grenade. They launch yet another one. One grenade from the top floor to the ground floor could be the game changer, could be the life changer here. Could be very pragmatic if they can't seem to find a way around it. Well, this could be the angle that swaps everything for them. Play zone shifts over to the south side. That's a major shift. It's a major swapping position. We're going to keep that narrative in the way they have been able to shut things down. But right now, LSK2, 7 eliminations for them as well. But Patrick did get swapped up in that exchange, and Zilla will make sure that he will not be getting picked up. Moon Cool looking for a way around. Can't seem to find it just yet, but he's trying to keep them occupied, trying to cause them a lot of problems, cause them some commotion. I'm surprised they're not taking the fight to him, though. Spots into the angle there. That's a first drop. That's a beautiful strike there with the AUG. And now he's trying to send a couple more shots again. And now forcing the initiative immediately. He might decide to go for the drop into the angles there. Every single corner. And he's trying to hold it in. LSK2. Only as a duo, they might be able to turn this around. He's added a couple more. Oh, what a spray right through the corner. Knight goes down. And now this could be a game changer. Wow. 2, 3. And they drop yet another. Bosch. It is his turn as well. Knight gets dropped away. Zilla gets dropped away. It's 1 left for the scene. Bosch is going to press forward. He's not backing down. He's not stopping. He's looking for an angle. If he gets this elimination, that will be a job well done. He will send all of them back into the lobby. Bosch on the ground floor, looking for an entry point, looking for a way through. Grenade could be good here, but unfortunately, he has run out. He heads into his vehicle and runs away. Wow. I was not expecting that though from Bosch. I really thought he was gonna stand on business there. But man, that one was just a little bit more for him. It was just a little bit more for him. He will leave the guys from Bots to live a little, to live longer and get their strength back up. I was not expecting that, not even in the slightest. But you live to fight another day, man. I mean, they've got 8 eliminations. It's not a bad shout. Live to fight another day. Gotta live to fight another day. Wow. There's a little bit of a conundrum. And they will be thinking long and hard about how they want to, you know, keep things into perspective, though. But. Ooh. Wow. Ideas are coming to light now. He's trying to launch that grenade. It's going to be one for the books if you can get the angles properly there, but they do have an angle to work out of, an angle to work with as well. Metro Pub, one elimination they've been able to manage so far, but they're adding more if they can get these angles right. Wait, I mean, that was a shot. What is he doing? What are you waiting for? Well, that one gets knocked away. When he doesn't be able to get the finish, their legacy, unfortunately, gives away his position, but he had to trade off as well. Oh my. Well, he is trying to pick his teammate up there. And that might be the best idea to at least keep their numbers. But another one will be pulling up into the mix. He's going for another reset. Metro Pub is going to be a very difficult release for them as well. That the test of the team pulls up into the mix there, drops the second one, and he manages to drop the third. But that could have gone sideways fast. Well, that was a little bit of a warning, but it's enough to get the job done nonetheless. Grenade launching. Ooh, well, that was a very good grenade, actually. Oh, that's an even better grenade. And that one gets the job done. A knock comes through. Immediately, he's going to press forward on this one and capitalize. And that is a job well done. They wrap it up quick. And all it took was that grenade launching at the right exact time, doing the most damage. And they will be taking that one with them. That is how you do it. That is absolutely how you do it. My goodness. Well, that is the level of consistency you will have to adapt to if you are trying to make sure you see this through, you see the pressure Remember, the goal is to finish in the top 8 of this group so you can advance to the final scheduled for tomorrow. They will trying to keep it a little bit kosher. They will try to launch it in. Oh, that's a beautiful shot with the DBS right out of the vehicle. I mean, popping out. That felt like a whole lot of John Wick. The way he popped out of the vehicle there and dropped him immediately with the DBS, you gotta love it, you gotta respect it. He pulled up immediately and got that job done. Shots requiescent of who is dominating and who is trying to stay in the lobby, stay in the fight zone there. Trying to make sure that they don't get caught out trying to get out of this particular area. Again, it's going to be very difficult though. They don't have all of the utilities that they've wanted, but Zedrone from Killer Bob just left to him to keep his team alive here. We've got a whole bunch of teams still very much in the riding for this though. We've got about 7 teams alive, 16 players, all vying for an opportunity to take home that Infinix, that brand new Infinix Hot 70, and a chance to get at 1,200 USD. There is some ground to cover though. There is a little bit of concern as to how they want to keep this together, but right now LSK 97 just trying to hold it together. The boss as well, SPI as well. There are 5 eliminations now. We've lost the Rogue Vandals and we are down to just 6 teams. The zone getting smaller and smaller. Sahil looking out the window, seeing it's just such a beautiful day to get some headshots as Zedrone is up onto the house side again. Metropop, no chance for them. They get dropped. And that is an AWM from Zedrone from the top. He makes it pop. And you gotta respect the AWM. You cannot be peeking your head out against an AWM. You will learn the hardest way. Now he's dropping to the corner again. Oh, that's a beautiful trade-off as well. Zilla also going down. That's 2 bodies getting dropped by Bosch. And Bosch is turning this around. Now Knight is going to be the last one left. Again, interestingly enough, he spared them. Bosch actually spared these guys earlier on when they went up against each other, but the vehicle goes up in flames by Zayden. And the boss will be eliminated there. 2 eliminations going into the way of Bosch. And now we're down to 3 teams. 10 eliminations there. LSK 97 have the numbers and they have the angles as well to cover, but they do not have the zone, so they will have to advance as well to make a little bit of a play into a better spot. And things are possibly going from bad to worse because Bosch is over to that hilltop position, got the high ground as well to move, and he gets into his vehicle, reposition. Zayden's going to press forward as well to reduce the distance between him and the rest of the team there, but it could be a job well done if he can find his way around. Finally manages to sweep through, but he's probably going to run straight into the opposition team there, and now here they come. Sahil up onto the ground floor, but they lose one. They lose the first. Trade-off is good again. Trades into the corner, but that will be the end of the road for him. Daddy going down, but immediately while all that was going on, the other team, LSK, they pull up into the scene as well. SPI under siege, grenades and bullets flying through the windows, and they're jumping and hopping around. Sahil trying to get his bearings right. Another grenade right through the corners, and he hits him, and he drops his HP, peeks into the corner with the UMP. Can't seem to find the angles right, but the AKM slaps him right through the head, drops him as well. 2 bodies caught in the air, and they're not even making their way into the building. They're just forcing them to stay upstairs, and it's trouble for SPI. They're in trouble again. again. Ground floors, but they can't seem to make anything happen. Molotov, and more grenades dropping through. Angle's under siege right now. Redux trying to hold it in, but another grenade will drop him as well. And these guys will get the job done without breaking a foot into the house. LSK 97 will take the chicken dinner. Well, what do we have here? They did not even go inside the house. They coordinated everything from outside. That is what you call teamwork, making the dream work, ladies and gentlemen. The job is done. Chicken dinner to LSK. And well-deserved, ladies and gentlemen. Match number 3 of the PUBG Mobile, MTN, and Infinix National Championship Tournament. It's a wrap, but it's not a wrap yet. We've still got Miramar. Can they redeem themselves? We'll find out after the break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Our last match of the day. 4 games. And now we saw that last team, LSK, take that chicken dinner in Erangel, and they did it in pristine fashion. Can they do it again? Or are we about to have another team rise through the ranks to stand on business this time around? But it is all left to them. Are they ready? Are they willing? And are they capable? Well, we are going to see if that is the case. Chad, we are going to absolutely see if that is the case, right? We're going to have to keep an eye on the progress of some of these teams, though. We're going to have to see if they do step up to the plate, if they do have something on board for us. Well, now the road less traveled. Easily the road decided. It's got a very interesting playing path here, though. Now we are about to see who wants it more. We're playing path moving in from the south all the way to the eastern side. Well, the northeast. Let's just call it northeast, right? We've got Los Leones very much in the conversation there. Chimacera as well. La Bendita. We've got Impala. We've got Baby San Martin, Hacienda del Patron still in the mix. Cruz de Val, Campo Militar, Toa Armada, and El Azahar. I think we got Tierra Bronca somewhere in the mix. The questions that some of these teams have, no better time to give an answer than now, as the pressure continues to unwind. But right now, it is going to be a Providence to YTS on their side. But this is the winning team, I believe. Had a very solid performance as well. Nothing too dastardly, nothing that we haven't seen before as well, but very indicative, of how to hold on to the lines there. Faheen and LSK 18 also trying to stay above or stay afloat. There is a little bit of nuance and a little bit of context to some of these teams and how they decided, to adapt their play styles, their plans, everything that they've got so far. This is what they have chosen to do with it. But right now, Faheen goes down. So left to him now. Can he do something? Oh, Molotov! But he took a little bit too much time to let that one go. Could have been a right call, but unfortunately, I think he just took a little bit too much time, way too much time, to let that one go. And he learned the hard way. been very proactive with it as well, but still need some points. Still need way more points. There's a little bit more here as Chava is going to be charging that grenade. Tries to spray through, manages to catch a couple shots on Killer there, but Killer will be pulling up immediately as well. Gets a first shot with the AKM and drops him to his knees. And Boss could be in a little bit of trouble here. Zilla's have to trade one off as well. Send a couple shots through. Knight trying to hold it in. Teammate still knocked away into the other side. First into the drop. Maverick gets the drop as well. Maverick goes down immediately with the sequence. Now that's two players for Boss have been dropped away. Knight trying to get his teammate back up, but the Molotov is going to follow suit. They have to get their teammates back to full strength so they can get the numbers in, but they have to make sure another one might bite the dust here. But fortunately for them, they will make something happen, but the grenade bounces right outside and possibly almost getting Knight knocked away. His teammates bleeding out and losing Sharp into that corner, tried to get his HP back up, but immediately getting swept aside. And that will be the end of the road for Knight there, but Zayden's going to trade one off as well, and that will be a wrap for the game. For 7 eliminations, a team added LSK 97 off that chicken dinner. They will not be stopping anytime soon. Shots will ring in the ears of the opposition here. They're trying to keep this on, and they are trying to keep this honest. The angles, it's all about the angles now, as we are down to the final 3 teams. It's all about making the right decision at this stage. Will you make the right call? Yes, they will. And LSK97 will get that chicken dinner again 2 times, but this time 22 eliminations is what they did to get it done. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you make a statement win. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 chicken dinners, well deserved. Post-match 4, and LSK97 will get themselves 2 chicken dinners, 55 points on the board. LSK2 with 28, and SP1 with 20, Faisal Akbar with 12, Bart with 10, and Metro Pub with 10 as well. LSK 59 with 7, Kilobob with 8, or rather with 6, and CP8 with 6 as well. Team Spark with 6 for all of their troubles as well. And on the other side, we've got LSK 98 with 5. Revives me, bro, with 4. Didn't get enough revives. And then they will try again to lock that one in, but unfortunate scenes for them. But that's what we love to see, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely incredible.